Hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Thursday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Welcome, Jenny. You gotta be surprised and be like, Sean, right? I'm pretty sure you are. I would be. Team Money, what? Team Money in the house. My parents are with me, and actually they're in the other room. For the first time I'm doing my live with live audience. But they're in the other room, but it's my mom's best friend's birthday. And so we're gonna go there, and if I go there and I don't do the live and come back, it'll be late. So I definitely don't want to go through that late. So anyway, we're gonna get to it right today early, which I love. I love. P Money, what's going on? How are you guys? Oh, you guys are gonna love this one. So we've talked about money and poverty and all that stuff before, but what if I were to tell you you were gonna get awarded $100 million tonight? Would that solve a few issues, you think? Hey, listen, if you don't want to be real about it, I'll be real about it. Hell yeah, it would solve a few issues for me. Heck yeah. 100 mil, let's go, 100 million. If you were awarded $100 million, would that change a few things in your life? Think about it. Would that change? Just a couple, right? Just a couple of things would change. Let's say you just came out of a rough, nasty divorce or a breakup. Would it matter? You'll probably be all right. You'll probably be okay, right? You'll be all right. You need your address? Yeah. What if you had one of the worst bosses on the planet Earth and you got into an argument with your best friend who was also your boss? I don't know, I just made that up. Would that matter? Probably not, right? You wouldn't matter. What if you had one of the worst days on the planet Earth? You thought that this was not gonna happen, and you came home and there was like an earthquake and everything was wiped out, and you're like, oh my goodness. Would that matter? Probably not. 100 million, right? You'd go take that. You'd want that 100 mil pretty quick, right? And but before you go, before you get in your car, there's got to be some kind of a condition, right? I mean, you gotta hook something to it. You can't just walk away with 100 mil. And no, it's not taxes. It's 100 million cash in your pocket, tax-free, all yours. Okay? Yeah, it would help you forget your exes. Ex who? Like what? Yeah, it would make me forget a lot of things. But what if I were to tell you the condition is that you would not wake up tomorrow morning? What if that were the condition? What if the condition were you go pick up the 100 mil, but you don't wake up tomorrow morning? I would probably say at this point, most of you are pissed off. You're like, oh, no, thank you. Keep your money. Isn't that interesting? Think about your own response to this question, because I had to. It was really interesting. 100 million gets you excited, you forget about everything. And then they say, oh, tomorrow morning you're not going to wake up. You're like, what? Why? Because the value of you living one more day is so precious to you that you would not want to cut that off for 100 mil or any other amount. The value of that day is so much, and it really, you can drive so many different routes out of this. But one thing is that, well, one, you feel like you haven't done enough, right? Maybe it feels like, hey, I haven't done enough. I want one more day. Oh man, I should have done that. I should have done. All these things go through your head all of a sudden. And you're like, man, I know. Or it may be because you're afraid of death, which also could translate into afraid of living, really, right? So just because the money is there, it doesn't mean it solves the problem, does it? It actually doesn't. The problem is that we feel like we probably should do more or could do more or would do more or because as soon as I said you won't wake up tomorrow, you probably ran through a couple things in your head. Oh man, I got to get that done. Yeah or no? Drop some hearts, love, hate, comments. Dang it, I have to remember its name. Its name, I love it. I have to remember its name. So the value of the day, the value of living another day, you just proved to yourself that it's worth more than that. Have my son, right? It's worth more than that. So even though we strive for the 100 mil or the top or success and this and that, we're not willing to give something of that much value up. Have my autistic son to take care of. What a powerful, wow. Jenny, that's so powerful. Like not willing anything for that exchange. Even life. Wow, that's amazing. That's pretty amazing. But I want you to think about that, right? So your value is worth in that, right? So even though we're striving for that success, even though we're striving for that top rank or what have you, some things are not worth it, right? Some things are not worth it. Now you're going to determine, just determine this one is not worth it. Now, how about if you were to do this? How about if you had lived a purposeful life and you were, let's say, 105 years old, and then they ask you that question? You see, different stages of our lives make a whole big difference in everything else. You know, if they ask you that at age 30, 40, 50, you're like, no, I got all this stuff. I got my son, I got this, I got that. I can't do that. But you're 105 years old, you've lived a purposeful life, you've done everything, and they say, we'll give you 100 million, you don't wake up tomorrow. You're probably gonna say, why don't you just keep it, give it to somebody else, because I'm gonna be gone. Right? So different stages of our lives make a difference what our values, our worth become. You see that? So as you go through each day, as you pass through each day, this was such a great story for me. It was just such a reminder. As you go through each day, be sure that you're living a purpose-driven life so that you don't have to. I have a couple other lives planned that kind of go along with what I'm doing for the past couple of nights. So just stay tuned with me. I don't want to give all this stuff away in one night in tonight's live, but as you live a purpose-driven life day after day, you got to be able to say to yourself, okay, I lived the day squeezed more out of you, or you squeezed more out of your day. That's the first thing I say every day, right? So by the end of the day, are you able to say, it squeezed the heck out of me, or man, I squeezed the day today. I got you know, and that's when you feel good about the next day, right? So as you go through this, as you go through the journey, as you're building and growing, be sure you live a purpose-driven life. Because remember, the 100 mil solved all the issues. The bad boss, the horrible ex, you know, all that stuff, it solved, even though it's all there still. It didn't magically disappear. It's a very powerful note. They didn't like not exist anymore. They existed, they just didn't exist in your head anymore. Like that. That's how powerful your mind switch can be if you wanted it to. Because that 100,000 isn't real, but the hardships are real. Sean John, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you circle back, watch the replay. I think you'll enjoy it. So the 100 mil isn't real, but it like made everything vanish, right? But all the issues are still there. They didn't vanish. So that's a very powerful note. I had to remind, this was such a good reminder for myself. I'm like, I have that power switch. I can switch that off. I can do that. I just have to use it, right? And it takes a little bit of practice to do that. So with that, I hope you got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. Remember, as you're going through this, live a purpose-driven life. That just means, you know, you've done some stuff, MVPs, your morals, your values, your principles. You lived by those throughout the day, and you showed up, right? You showed up. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts. Thank you. Drop your thoughts, your comebacks, your feedback below, and let this feed grow. And yeah, if you feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you gotta do. Spread the love, tag a couple people, you know, the 100 mil, you know. And with that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Signing off until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.